Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do something that I talked about in one of my other videos. I think it was my kitchen tour. One of the things that got me started watching YouTube videos and channels was that I love watching things that show kind of how other people live and show their homes, show just their lifestyles and things. And so that's one of the things that I want to do on this channel. I have a lot of different ideas for things I want to do with this channel, but that's definitely one of them. And I gave you guys a little glimpse into my house last week when I did a tour of the kitchen. And today I would like to take you on a tour of another room in my house. And it's a room I really love, and it's my music room. Our music room is actually supposed to be a dining room. It's the first room you see when you walk in the house, but we have never been the type of people that use a big dining room. When we have holidays, although this year was different, when we have holidays, we always go to my sister's house or one of my brother's homes. When my parents were younger, we always went to their house. I've never been one that actually had a lot of people over at my house. And when my kids were little, we lived in a house that didn't even have a dining area. Really didn't have a kitchen big enough for an eat-in kitchen. We kind of just ate in the living room and sat on the couch, used a coffee table. So when I decided, when we kind of both, my husband and I and the kids, when they were living here at the time, when we decided what we were going to do with that front room, we thought it would be a good idea to have it be kind of a second living area. And we have a piano, and it just kind of naturally over time turned into a music room. And so I'm going to show you around just the things that I've collected over the years to make this into what I hope is a really cozy and fun and kind of different looking room in my house where we can create music and memories and just kind of all hang out. So I hope you enjoy the tour of my music room. I'm going to start the tour right here. This is actually my entryway, but this leads right into what we use as our music room. This little area right here is just some plants that I've brought in for the winter time. And this is a very sunny area of the house, so I put these here to let them have a nice warm place for the winter. They'll be going back outside in just a few months, but this is where they are now. So to me, it's kind of an extension of the music room since the room itself is right here across this tile. This actually was meant to be a dining room, but we do not use a dining room at all. We have a kitchen table, and that's really all we use. So my kids all play music. They all write music. They play guitar, and I can play the piano, and I'm learning to play the guitar. And my husband loves music too. He is learning to play the guitar, and he has a huge record collection. So we decided to use this room for music. And I'm going to kind of start on this side and just kind of go around. Pretty much everything in here is either something that I got from a family member, or I bought at an estate sale or a thrift store, something like that. So I meant to move that music, but I'll put that right there. So right here, this green chair I got at it was either an estate sale or it might have been a thrift store. And I kind of like the shape of it and the color. I really like the green. This pillow came from a garage sale. I usually, when I see pillows like that, it's very well put together and everything. I get these for usually around anywhere from $2 to $4, which is a lot cheaper than you get them at the store. This little throw here came from Tuesday Morning, and I like it because it Looks very vintagey, and it has birds, which I love birds. We have a picture. It's kind of a, you can't see it in the video here, but this picture, as you move, well, you could kind of see it there. Then it's almost like a 3D effect. That's John Lennon. My husband's a huge Beatles fan, so we have that. These are just some wooden spools that someone had them at a garage sale just in a box. And I don't remember exactly what I paid for them, but I want to say it was like $2. I thought the shapes were interesting, and so I used those to just display. That's just a lamp. And this picture here, I love this picture. This is my aunt on my dad's side, one of his sisters, and her husband, my Uncle Jack. That's my Aunt Jane. And I love this picture because this shows just kind of how people used to dress up to go out for a nice dinner. And my uncle was an optometrist, and they were both really well known in their community, and they were very involved in different types of things like Kiwanis Club and Garden Club and things like that. So they had a lot of friends and very social, and I just love that picture because it kind of captures their personality. This table came from another aunt. It was actually my Aunt Jane's sister, my dad's sister. It opens up, it has storage, and I keep some music and records in there. It has a marble top. It's just kind of a cool piece. This is a rain stick that when you flip it over, it makes a rain sound. I like how that is kind of, different. And then I have a fake plant that came from a garage sale. This is just a metal wall hanging of a jazz band that either came from Goodwill or a garage sale. This chest of drawers has, that's not dust. I know it looks like that's dusty, but that's a whitewash. It has CDs and cassette tapes in it. But this belonged to my mother-in-law and father-in-law, and it's a beautiful old piece, so we use it for storage in here. And this is an old radio. It doesn't work, but I told you guys before, I love the shapes of these things and just the workmanship. And so I like the dials and just how it looks. This piece here, I think I got that from a friend, and I believe that was in her mother's house after her mother passed away. She had a lot of things. Her mom loved blue, and I'm almost positive that's where that came from. There's a set of cards here. My aunts used to travel a lot. And when they would travel, they would go to gift shops, and they liked to buy things like sets of cards. I have tons of those. This is just a little Beatles figurine in that box. And then this is an amber colored, I think it's a chip and dip bowl, but I love that color. That print up there of the cassette tapes came from Hobby Lobby. And then this little dachshund, I think he is either meant to hold notes or maybe even small records, but I just like it because it's a dachshund, and I have a little dachshund. This is just a keyboard that we have, and I got the stool at a garage sale. This is a vintage microphone. It does not work right now, but you could rewire it so that it would work. I just like how it looks in here. I have a tambourine there on that mic stand. And all of my wall hangings there are secondhand or very inexpensive. I think that the music notes came from Goodwill. I know the cross came from a garage sale or something like that, because that's where I always get those kinds of things. This sign was my daughter's that I gave her for Christmas one year, and when she moved out, she didn't, want all of her stuff anymore, and so she left that here. I like how it looks in here. This chair, my daughter and I were out actually together, and she actually wanted to buy it for herself, but then I ended up, we we got it, and then I just kept it after she moved out. She didn't want to take it. I can't remember exactly what we paid for it, but I want to say it was probably $25, $30. The pillow was secondhand at a garage or estate sale. Just have a picture of the Abbey Road photo back here. Another picture of the Beatles. That's an old lamp that I got. I probably got that at a garage sale. I don't usually buy lamps at Goodwill, but I do get them at garage sales a lot. So that's probably where I got that. And then this is just a piece of fabric that I thought had an interesting pattern. That guitar case belonged to my son, and he left it with us, and so I'm going to use it for my guitar now. This curtain here, I actually have that one, and then there's the matching one. I just put those up with tension rods because these just are open doorways, because this is meant to be a dining room. It's not really closed off, but I like to be able to close it off sometimes, so I put those curtains up there. Plus, I just like how it gives it some color. This is an antique piano from the 1800s. On the inside, if you open the cover, it has a date scratched in there of 1800 and something. I can't remember, but that was a date that it was tuned. And this belonged to my husband's parents. And this is my mother-in-law. That's her when she was younger. And then there she is actually playing this piano, and that's my oldest son behind her. She loved playing this piano, and she was very good at it. And when she was a child, her and her siblings were actually part of a singing group. They would travel to different churches, and they sang hymns, gospel songs, and they were really good. There's so many stories about her. She is just, well, she's passed away now, but just one of the finest people. I was very fortunate to have such a wonderful mother-in-law. She was really one of the most excellent people I've ever known. Sweet, good-hearted, so good to everybody, loved the simple things in life. So many people would not even understand her at all, I'm sure, because of the very simple things that gave her pleasure. But definitely a wonderful person, and I miss her very much. And so do my kids. They just idolized her. She was a very wonderful person. This little bowl I found at the Goodwill, and I liked the colors of it and the design. I think it looks very 60s-ish, and I like that look. And I collect old vintage cameras. My aunt that I showed you the picture of a while ago, she was pretty much the unofficial photographer of our family. And after she passed away, we just weren't that good anymore at getting family pictures. But she just had thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures that she would take of the family at family gatherings and things like that. And when I collect these cameras, I always think of her. And I actually have a couple that came from her house. That print up there, I bought that years ago. I think maybe I got it from either Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I don't remember. But I loved the colors in it, and so I've kept it all these years. That's just a picture of my kids at a park climbing a tree. And I love that picture of all of them together. This little guy, I got him at an antique store. He is damaged. He's got a crack, but I think he's so cute. And I know back, I remember when my siblings were little, when my mom would have babies, people would give the moms flower arrangements and stuff in these kind of little containers. So I think about that when I look at him. This is a picture of me many, many years ago with my oldest son. He was 3 years old there, and that's us at a Japanese garden in Fort Worth. We used to go there all the time. This is just a candle holder. The top comes off. And I love the color, this amber color. I have this kind of all over my house. And my oldest son and his wife, bought that the bust of Caesar there, and they thought it was kind of funny. They gave me that with the sunglasses too, and I think it was kind of cute to have that up here. I have a little salt lamp here, and then this is a I don't even know what you call these, but it's metal, and it was what they used to use to print the music onto paper. And the song here is Jesus Has Promised. So it's backwards here, but when it would print, it would be forwards. And so that is what I display on my piano. Coming around this way, we have another curtain, and then this huge fake plant I got at a garage sale. I think I paid about $25 to $30 for this. In a store, it would be much more expensive because it's very heavy. And then I just put some little twinkle lights in it that come on automatically at night. This chair I bought at a thrift store, and it swivels, and I think it looks kind of like it's from the 60s or 70s, really 70s, I guess. This lounge sign, let me kind of move this and you can see, it says lounge. It lights up, and I thought it looked kind of cool in here. And then this piece of music, I can't remember exactly where I got that. I'm thinking maybe one of my kids gave me that. It's Amazing Grace, which I love that song. This is a table I made out of just 2 drums stacked on top of each other. One of my sons had a whole bunch of old drum pieces, and when he left, he just left all those in my attic. And so we got rid of some of them, and I kept these 2. And I had this glass top from an old, those little Walmart tables that you can get for like $10 that have the little spindle legs. That's what that came off of. So I just put it on top of the drums and made a table. And then this is just a set that has some different games in it. And I thought that the Chinese checkers looked kind of colorful, so I put that on there. This is another print. I got this at the same time I got the cassette one. And I love these colors of the record player. This is my favorite actress of all times. Well, I love her and Doris Day, but I love Audrey Hepburn. This is from Breakfast at Tiffany's, which that's one of my favorite movies. I just think she looked so beautiful in that movie, and I just loved all of the scenery of New York in that movie. These are some things that came from one of my aunt's houses after she passed away. She had a lot of old sheet music, and these hit paraders were music magazines. And that was also a piece of sheet music that she had. And I just put these in dollar store frames and hung them up, and I thought they looked really cute in here. This chair came from a local antique vintage type of a place. I paid $30 for this chair. And then this Afghan, I bought it in an estate sale. I think I paid $5 or $8 for it, and it is very good workmanship. You can see that's handmade. That is not made by a machine. Somebody made that. And I love the look, the 70s look. This ottoman, my daughter and I were driving around one day, and we saw this sitting out in the front of their house, like in their, to be picked up by trash. And we stopped, and I was driving a Honda Civic, which is not a big car, and this is a very large ottoman. It took us forever, but we finally figured out how to wedge it in there, and we got it home. And it's very nice. You can see it's tufted. I mean, the only thing that was wrong with it is has one little stain, which is, I just threw this throw over it, and then you really can't even see it. We cleaned it up, obviously, but I think it looks really nice in here. And then the last part is this screen I bought at a garage sale. I think I paid the lady, it was either $10 or $15 for that. And it's very, very heavy. And she told me she bought it at Pier 1 years ago. These things at Pier 1 would be probably a couple of $100 for something like that. It has a tiny bit of damage, not a lot. But like you can see right here, there's a little bit right there. But not much, not enough to even, that bothers me. So I love that look. And then this I got at a garage sale, and I think I paid $5 for this. And this is all made out of shells. And again, if you've seen these things online, they're very expensive. And you can actually put a light kit in there and make it a hanging lamp. This is just a Good Day Sunshine. I bought that at the Goodwill. And I bought that because my oldest son, when he was a little bitty guy, his favorite Beatles song was Good Day Sunshine. This last piece I'm going to show you is an old phonograph. It belonged to my aunt. It's kind of dusty. I need to clean that out. It doesn't work, but I love the wood and just how it looks. So I use it to put our record player on that does work. And there's some of our records in there. And I love the history of that. The rug I bought secondhand at a garage sale. I believe I paid $10 or $15 for that. And I think it goes well in here because nothing matches in here, which that doesn't bother me. I actually kind of like that. Anyway, last thing, that light fixture, we bought that recently at a garage sale. And I cannot remember if I paid $10 or $20, but it was one of those two. And that is probably I know it's over $100 light fixture. It's probably more like $200 light fixture or close to it. So this is our music room. And I hope you enjoyed the tour of my music room. I hope you liked that tour, and if you did, if you like this kind of video, make sure and hit like, and if you aren't already a subscriber, I hope you'll hit subscribe and leave me some comments if you have some suggestions for other things that you think I could do in that room to make it even better. Or if I was able to give you some ideas, please share that. I'd like us all to share just different ideas we have. As I said before, I love looking and seeing how other people live. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time. Bye.